Today we're going to make a ghost, the Baylor Experiment.
Did you die here in this podcast studio?
Dude, that's so...
This is so bad.
Ow! In 1972, in a quiet Toronto neighborhood, a small group of researchers gathered around a table to attempt something never done before. They tried to create a ghost. Not summon one from the dead, but invent one from their own minds. They called him Philip Aylesford, a man who never lived but answered when they called. His life story was detailed, romantic, and tragic. Born in England in 1624, a knight of Charles II, trapped in a loveless marriage. In secret, he fell in love with a Romanian woman, a woman accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake. Heartbroken and disgraced, Philip took his own life in despair. Every detail of his world, his portrait, his home, even his death, was pure fiction, much like my Tinder bio. Week after week, the family met in a dimly lit room. They sat around a table, spoke aloud to Philip, and tried to imagine him standing there with them. They studied his story until they could picture his face. They visualized the manor where he once lived. They talked to him as though he were listening. For months, nothing happened. Granted, it was the 70s, so they didn't really have much anything better to do, but they had to keep trying. Then one night, everything changed. As the group sat laughing and talking, the table beneath their hands began to tremble. At first, a subtle vibration, and then a sudden knock. Someone asked, "Hey, Philip, sorry to ask there, but is that you?" One loud rap for yes. Soon the knocks came faster. Somehow it seemed Philip was alive. We're going to be creating our own Philip experiment, but we're going to be calling it the Baylor Experiment.
That's right, yeah. So we actually came up with a new backstory for a new fake ghost who never existed.
His name is Baylor Dean Sharpe from right here in Covington, Louisiana. And like Paul said, we're going to kind of dive into his world, show it to some of the staff here at Ghost City Tours, and then we're going to try to conjure him up ourselves. Do you have any more thoughts on the Philip experiment, what those crazy Canadians were up to?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, people just saw, but the Philip experiment was an experiment in Canada in the 70s where they tried to actually make a ghost up out of nothing. And so they were actually successful, according to them at least. They made up this whole crazy long backstory about this English nobleman who fell in love with a Romanian woman, and his wife found out, and so the wife convinced everybody that the Romanian woman was a witch, and so they burned her at the stake. And he was so heartbroken that he kills himself, right? That's more or less what they did. And so every day for a year they would get together, or once a week for a year they would get together, and they would try to conjure up this fake ghost because they wanted to see if they could make a ghost up out of nothing. There's a Tibetan Buddhist idea called a tulpa, which is basically an entity that's created entirely out of thought form, right? And so their theory was that they could do the same thing with a ghost. And again, according to them, they were successful. You can actually find videos on YouTube of the actual experiment, of some tables moving and some knocking and things like that. And yeah, so that's basically the Philip experiment. Do you think this is going to work?
Absolutely not. But you know, there is something to that Tibetan idea of maybe manifesting it, and then maybe some of the triggers Baylor had will manifest itself here in the studio.
Part of the thing that we're going to be doing differently than what they did in Ontario in the 70s, they had more time. There was less things to do back in the 1970s. So we're trying to advance the timeline. They took a year to conjure up Philip the Ghost. We're going to try to make Baylor happen in a much shorter time frame. And so a part of that is actually going to be utilizing these triggers to hopefully make his non-existent apparition appear to us.
And, you asked me what I thought was going to happen. What are your thoughts?
I think weird shit happens, man. I'm not overly confident that we're going to make a fake ghost, but you never know. We only use 10% of our brains, some of us less than that. And, so who the hell knows?
Katie, thank you so much for joining us for the seance of Baylor. Real quick, we're going to intro him, we're going to have some triggers and see if we can find a way to communicate with Baylor.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So Baylor Sharpe wasn't a bad man. Don't laugh. Baylor Sharpe wasn't a bad man. Just a janitor with a dream, a dart, and a beer. But one night, this humble cleaner took one fall too many, and the smell of Lysol still hangs in the air. Now, Katie, I want you to describe to me, in the best that you can, describe Baylor in your mind.
All right. Baylor's a man. He has on a wife beater, like a white wife beater.
Probably some cut-off shorts, actually. Blue jean cut-offs. Ooh.
I think he would be wearing, flip-flops.
Any other visualizations that we can make of Baylor?
He's got a toothpick in his mouth.
A toothpick in his mouth?
Yeah, just off to the side a little bit.
Okay.
Just chewing on it.
Now that we've properly pictured him, we're going to try and summon him. We're going to say his name, his first name, and his first and last name 5 times.
Okay.
We're going to do it together.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Baylor. Baylor Sharpe. 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 Hey, Baylor, you there, buddy? Baylor? You there, fella? You hear anything?
No, not yet.
Why don't you try calling for him?
Baylor, are you here?
All right, so Paul and I are in the edit process right now, and we've found something pretty interesting. Let's check it out. What you got, Paul?
All right, so obviously we're listening to this. There's nothing.
Baylor, are you here?
So yeah, I turned it up obviously right there, but there's a knocking sound that happens.
Here?
Oh, yeah.
And you can see, like, there's both of your mics, and we had a shotgun mic up here. There's literally nothing to hit those mics to cause that noise.
Are you here? We didn't even move.
So is that, the fuzz is what you've turned up?
The fuzz is what I turned up.
Okay.
So, like, this is it not turned up. But you can even see, if you look at the audio levels right there, there's like a slight jump where it happens, which is why I turned it up. But if you turn it up, you can actually...
Dude, that's so weird.
Well, let's try another trigger, the dartboard. I'm going to get you to aim at this board right here with one of those darts.
Oh, Lord.
I have the utmost faith in you.
I know, this is so bad. Wait.
We're having little to no success hitting this dartboard.
No.
So what we're going to do, we're going to close our eyes, and we're going to strike the dart into the board. If it's an even number, it's yes. If it's an odd number, it's no.
Okay.
So I'll start off. Baylor, did you enjoy Miller High Life?
Yes, he did.
Baylor, was your favorite band Nickelback?
Yes.
Baylor, were you drinking the day that you died?
Oh, yeah.
Survey says yes.
Baylor, did you die here in this podcast studio?
No.
Hey, Baylor. I'm bringing out the big guns, buddy.
Yeah,
We have to get drunk.
that's sound reasoning. Yeah.
Okay. Baylor, did you have a tramp stamp? Well, that didn't help at all.
I also don't think that was a sip. Good God.
2 shots of vodka.
It's not even 3 o'clock in the afternoon yet.
I'm trying to talk to Baylor. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to talk to Baylor today, but I definitely, want to thank him for his time. Just not seeming to be working. Puts doubt in my belief in the Canadians,
Yeah, for sure.
Because it sounds like, from all indication, that they were able to talk with their ghost. Of course, they were doing it over a time period of a year. We've been doing it in like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's some of that. I don't know how to... what are we doing wrong?
Who's our next guest?
I don't think we have one.
Shut this whole thing down and retool.
Well, it's time to put a nice little bow on our Baylor experiment. Paul, we weren't exactly able to conjure up our pretend ghost, but there was some interesting things that happened along the way.
Yeah, not least of which was that this is the 3rd bow we've had to put on this thing.
Yeah, no, we actually have had some technical difficulties at the very end of this. But, as we showed you on camera, we did hear there was some sort of knock that happened that there was no way that could have happened on the microphones with the lavaliers or the overhead mic. So that part was a little spooky.
Yeah, it was weird, Weird stuff.
You know what else is weird?
What's that?
The Canadians.
You're not wrong, Walter.
And it seems as though everyone in the 1970s was full of shit.
Or hi.
And instead of hi, we'll say bye to you guys. Till next time, make sure to leave a comment if there's another type of experiment that you want us to recreate, or an urban legend that you would like us to sink our teeth into. Let us know right in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to our channel here at Ghost City Tours. It helps us to grow and bring you guys better and better content each and every week.
So it says to the guy, "That's no ghoul, that's my wife." Oh, didn't see you there. Well, I got you. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to the Ghost City Tours YouTube page. You'll be the first to know about the latest scares, terrors, and all right here at the Ghost City Tours YouTube page. Podcasts, content, long form, short form, all the scary stuff just for you. Be sure to like, subscribe.